Somos Anima Mundi y estás viendo Live Prog.
When it comes to music, I prefer to hear the songs in English. I heard progressive rock in Dutch, which sounds interesting, but you know, for some reason I prefer English. And a while ago I reviewed my first French album, or well, EP, and I mentioned that, you know, I didn't quite like it to understand the language. Well, guess what? I have another French release to review. And I gotta say, over the time that I'm doing these video reviews, my mind has changed. I had to, because I was getting so many releases sung in other languages than English, and I started to understand and to learn to appreciate the beauty of those other languages. And I gotta say, with this release, I am completely, you know, I surrender. I give up, because the only conclusion I can take after listening to the album I have for you now is that it's incredibly beautiful. Which album? This one, Lazuli. Now, I don't know how to say it in French, but so I'm gonna say it in English, because I know the translation of the title. It's 4603 Battements, but in English it's 4603 beats.
Et ses allers-retours, comme une balançoire, nous revient toujours. Derrière nous l'histoire, encore et toujours la même. Leçons illusoires, sur le même thème. Un pas en avant, un pas en arrière. Un recommencement, aujourd'hui comme hier.
I didn't count them, I gotta be honest. But even if I wanted to count them, I think I would have lost track quite fast, because this is such an incredible album. I was really not prepared for beautiful music like this. I had to check the website, because I heard the name Lazuli, but I was not familiar with them. But I heard so much good about this album that for some reason I just had to hear it. And well, the band sent me a copy. Thank you very much for doing this, because you changed my outlook on French music, on French progressive rock, definitely, because I don't understand what they're singing about. Let me make that clear. So I'm not gonna talk to you about what the album is about, because I don't know. You know, I can do it with Google Translate, but I prefer that to have the idea of the mystic, you know, that comes from listening to this. The whole combination, the French vocals. I gotta say, Dominique Leonetti is an amazing singer, and that's one of the reasons why this is such a good album. But that's not the only reason. Lazuli is a quite extraordinary band, I noticed. I checked their website to know a little bit more about them. I understand that they're already making music since 1998, so they've been around for a while, and I understood that this is their 5th album.
Je suspends le temps à la petite aiguille. Un porte-manteau au tissu de mensonges. Une seconde peau, autant que j'allonge. Une pause accrochée à la crémaillère. Un temps mort à délai. Une clairière.
I'm not familiar with the other 4, but if they match up to this one, then it's gotta be also incredibly good music. Nevertheless, focusing on this one, you know, if you see the cover, you have the brackets, and the same idea you have when you look at the track listing, because the first track here is 8 seconds long, and it's just, you know, the open bracket, and the last song is the closing bracket. But the music what's between those brackets, you know, that's what this album is about. But when I also look at the artwork, it's a nice digipack. It's all, you know, dark and purple letters, and yeah, I don't know, I like it. Let's have a look inside then. In essence, it's not much, you know, it's just lyrics and some pieces of art. But we also have the band members. Especially this gentleman here. Seems to be a very interesting instrument he's holding, and that also has a bit of a story. I think that's one of the reasons why this is such an amazing band and an amazing album. Band members, I think he's related to the singer, Leode, had a motorcycle accident many years ago and his left arm got paralyzed. Nevertheless, he wanted to make music, and from what I understood, he was a guitar player. Well, of course, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So he kind of devised an instrument by himself, which is a bit of a mixture between a guitar, a synthesizer, and a singing saw, you know, something like that. And he created that himself, and he, well, made one that works, and that's what he uses on this album, and it's called a Leode. And if you check the website lazuli-music.com, and there you have a few videos of that instrument, and it's very interesting to look at it. But if I put all the musicians and all the instruments together and listen to this album, I hear it's a very rich music. There is so much detail in it because of the different instruments they use, and that makes it a very intense experience to listen to this music. And well, despite the fact that it's sung in French, I love it, and I keep on listening to this album because the feeling it gives me is so great. This is such beautiful music, and that's well, I say that's what an album should do with people, you know, make you happy, make you enthusiastic about it, and even though you don't understand everything, that's not the point. The point is that you enjoy it, and I gotta say I enjoy this immensely. And as I said, I wasn't prepared for beautiful music like this, and they have two guitar players in the band, plus they have the Leode, which is a mixture of guitar and keyboards, but on the whole, it's not metal, it's real progressive rock. It's an intense experience. I don't know how to say it. It's not really heavy, but not also very soft. It definitely got some balls, this music, absolutely. But they also have a few softer songs, a bit of a ballad, acoustic songs. So all in all, this is an incredible experience to listen to, and I can only say buy this album. If you don't have it, if you're not familiar with Lazuli, if you're like me and you shy away a little bit from French music, well, don't. Just buy this one and you'll love it, definitely. So, all I can say is for 603 Battements by Lazuli, I say a live prog must-have album.
La marée noire des sentiments. À quoi ça rime tous ces poèmes? Un jour les vers me mangeront, c'est tout. Avant ce festin ultime, en attendant je t'aime.